Hi Taurus, welcome to your full moon in Aries reading for September 29th, 2023. Full moons close out cycles, and you have a cycle closing out of decrease, right? So maybe it's been a cycle where you've had to, you've been limited, where maybe energy or money, or you had to give out, there has been bigger expenditures. Um, Maybe like, for instance, a child going off to college and you have to pay them, or you have to pay a lot of expenses for that. Um, Maybe work has decreased, there's not enough, or there's not as many clients as you used to have. It's temporary, of course. Um, there can be a lot of external change, and so maybe even it's your energy. Maybe you have a decrease in energy. But this is the direction the reading is going in. It may not necessarily be your situation, but can be, we were talking about Taurus here, so they're very often about work and finances and stability. So there could be a decrease in that area. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just an energetic decrease. Maybe you don't have the energy, or you haven't had the energy. So that's the direction the reading is going in. You, however, your focus is the Hermit, knowledge, wisdom, elders, expert, searching, and isolation. This card says, for me, the Hermit is very much about gathering information, um, digesting it, and turning that knowledge into wisdom. It can feel a bit lonely if you're not somebody prone to being alone. If you're usually a very social person, you can feel very internal. And even if you are around people, you might feel just sort of alone or deep in your own thoughts kind of energy. You could be searching for information. Maybe you're searching for more of something that has decreased, right? Or somebody can be asking you for your opinions, for your knowledge and wisdom. And maybe just the decrease is you not being as social as you usually are. That can also be. But it's a cycle. So it's number 4. 4 is always about stability, foundations, and when negatively aspected, I would say on the dark, on the, I won't say dark, I would say on the more difficult side of the energy of 4, it can be stagnation, just not being able to roll with the situation, right? You have to push things along as opposed to rolling with it, right? 4 corners. It doesn't roll very easily. So let's get specifics here. All right, in the position of what the moon is closing out, or the full moon's closing out, you have the King of Wands. This is my Aries card, the fiery personality. They are people who can blaze new trails. They are very often in a position of authority, even if it's their own authority, because they might like to work on their own, but they're great managers. They're good at managing people and situations. They have good oversight over situations. And they're pretty brave, I think. I think they're not afraid to try new things. In fact, they're usually the explorer of new pathways and trying out new situations. So it's a very brave energy, I think. They can be long in features, so a long face or a long nose, and just maybe tall or lengthy body. Very thin and lengthy. They're very often thin because they're active people. They're busy doing things. But they don't have to be. Okay, with that you have the Two of Swords. This is making decisions or the need to make decisions. but it's difficult. So this is the moon in Libra, and Libra are the scales, right? And the scales have to be balanced. And so you can see both sides of a situation quite easily and evenly. And this can be difficult to make a decision, but the decision that you are trying to make here is something that will bring peace of mind. Now, it may have something to do with this King of Wands, or you may be helping them, right? Because the Hermit, they're looking for, they're seeking advice or seeking information. So they may be coming to you for your opinion or your help, or you may be coming to them, or this can be you, the King of Wands. Most likely not, because this is you and how you're dealing with the situation. But if, unless of course you're in a position of authority, then it's very possible. And I think it's maybe somebody that you're working along with if it is. And we're looking at decrease here, right? So this is cutting something off in favor of something else. That will bring peace of mind eventually. The wisdom of the Two of Swords is that no matter what decision you make, you'll have to deal with challenges and rewards. So if you're having that indecisive moment, it's kind of just saying make a decision and, you know, deal with things as they come. It's very often, though, that we negate our emotions because it's like we're crossing, right? We have a cross over our heart and just trying to be quite logical about the situation. This king, though, is passionate. And that might be the dilemma, right? Or maybe you want to cut this person off or out, but there still holds some passion there if this is a romantic thing. But this is needing to make a decision, and I always think of the Two of Swords as like a scissor, ready to cut something off. Okay, there's your Ace of Swords. So you have clarity. Indeed, maybe they are coming to you for your information or for your wisdom and knowledge in this situation, because you have clarity and you are willing to take action. And this is action through clarity. This is my Triumph and Security card. It's the Excalibur sword that can only be wielded by truth. And it is my Yes card. So I think you have great solutions to this feeling of decrease wherever it's happening for you here. And you're ready to take some kind of action with it, which could be cutting somebody out of a situation. It is a good card, but it is the beginning of an active cycle. And the swords are mental, right? And I think the swords are one of the more difficult energies to move through because there's a lot of strife and activity. It's the war card, right? We're going into battle with that sword. The sword cuts both ways. But you are assured with that Ace of Swords of some triumph. And if nothing else, there's clarity. And that's, you know, truth and clarity is what we're getting at here and what we should get out of this new cycle eventually. With that, you have the Empress card. You're the Empress here. So that is very creative activities. This is the Mother card, so it can be, if you are a female, that you are seeing things clearly. This can be the Pregnancy card. It's highly creative. It is the creative principle itself. It's nature. It is nurture. These are important females, or you may be that important female. It's creative ideas and solutions, and it's abundance, which is really great to see next to this Decrease card, right? It's almost like you have the solution and you take action on it, thus closing out the cycle of decrease. You may be working with nature, with or nurture in this sense. This is aspected or associated with the planet Venus. And Venus is, right, the loving, beautiful female but she's also the fierce protector. And she, with that Ace of Swords, I do feel like there's a fierce protective energy here. To somebody who may be, causing you to make a decision, or they're making a decision, and and you can be, protecting yourself, or your situation, or your company, or your business, or whatever is on the decrease here. Nice. Ace of Wands. There is a new passion coming in. This is wonderful. Something that you're passionate about. This is great, right? He's master of his passion. Interesting. So there is a new passionate beginning coming in through your very decisive, clear actions. Nice. Well, passions can be romantic as well. This is a very sexual card, and this is pregnancy. And again, it can be with a child, but it can also be with creative ideas and creativity itself. If you're an artist, it's a wonderful card. Okay, the Hermit. This feels to me like we're seeking out new ways of dealing with this new impetus, with this new creative idea that we have, with this new passionate idea that we have. The nice thing about the Ace of Wands is if you pick up that wand, right, if you decide to go with that passion, it can be the thing of the stuff that dreams are made of, right? It's your passion. It's the thing that gets you up in the morning and, gets you out of bed. And it's like, I'm so excited to, create this wonderful thing in my life. And so the Hermit can have us searching and seeking information, turning that information into wisdom after we digest it. We may kind of close ourselves off from the outside world for a little bit while we study and take in this information and digest it. It can feel like a bit of a lonely card sometimes, or feel a little bit alone or internal, but there's good purpose for that. There's something lighting up our passions, and it's growing on a very internal level. You have two aces, so there's two new beginnings, clarity, and the clarity about a passionate new beginning. Really nice. And it comes from making a decision here, some very decisive action. It feels to me like if there's a moment, right, with decrease, where I didn't know what to do, I wasn't sure which decision to make, and we get this King of Wands energy, whether that's external or internal, it doesn't matter. This is somebody who's like, you know what, I'm picking up my passion. I know what to do with it. I know that I can bring this passion to fruition, and this is how I'm going to do it. It's that kind of energy. It's really nice. Moving on. Yeah, I mean, we're cutting something or someone off, and it can be just the feeling of, I can't do it anymore, right? Or it can be an actual physical person. But we're moving on here. What we are doing is we're taking the battle that we've been through, or that difficulty that we've experienced, and we're moving to calmer waters. And we're kind of, again, assimilating all that information, digesting it, and turning it into wisdom, turning it into something that's usable. Knowledge and wisdom. Again, very mental energy, the swords. So these are thinking things through, but from a calmer disposition, from a calmer emotional and mental state. It's also sort of like there's nothing I can do about this, right? Let me just go be over here and not necessarily lick my wounds, but deal with the aftermath of this decision and figure it out, right? We're figuring it out. We're finding that clarity. And again, this can be you, or this can be somebody that you're dealing with. Again, long features this person would have to help you to recognize who it could be. Like a flame, right? Think of it as a long flame, a matchstick with a long flame. Okay. 7 of Cups. This is that sort of decision-making card, or choices, right? We have a lot of choices before us. These are the 7 planets that are offering us 7 different choices. And we kind of have to figure out what's best for us in this sense, or what it is that we want, because this card really asks you to see what the heart wants, right? If you, again, here's the idea of negating the heart, and this card is asking you to bring it in and to say, how do I feel about this, right? The Empress card. What does the heart want? But it is about choices before you and making those choices and finding the clarity to mentally understand the situation and to take action from that point. And again, what does this card say, right? Whatever choice you make, it will come with its challenges and rewards. But I really think that you can do something with this, because this is a very active card, and the Empress is creativity. So you can really, like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what you choose, but what you choose, you can do something really wonderful with it. You can really have some creative mental activity, as well as, the outcome of it. Again, a child, something is being born here. Whether that's a physical person or a romantic situation or work that you love to do, your creative energy is the key here. Nature definitely keeps calling out to me in a big way. So I don't know if you're dealing with some natural things, like an arborist, or trees or water or whatever. Maybe you're a woodworker. That's what I mean. Like there's this natural component to this energy for me, for somebody I'm picking up. Okay. The Ace of Wands, mushrooms. The Ace of Wands is that new passionate beginning and searching out all those things that you need to, those components, right? Of how do I get this started? How do I further it along? You're taking your next step with the Two of Wands. And this is sort of like, let's say you've established something already, right? You have something already established and you want to add to it or add a new component to it, or this is already established, you want to begin something new, but it is the next step of this. I have a passion towards something, so what can I do with it? And you're kind of looking out into the larger world to see maybe what other people have done, right? We're seeking information. What have they done with this particular thing? Or creative response or creative activity. How can I add to it? Is it this or that, right? I can, let's say you are working with woodworking, right? I love trees and I like to work with trees. Do I make cabinets or should I make toys with it? It's that kind of energy, right? Or, how could I combine the two? But it's plotting and planning, and there again, two twos, there's some decisions being made in regards to these new beginnings that you're starting here. These new cycles that are beginning. As we close out, right? The moon is closing out this decrease as we begin something new. The Hermit comes out twice, so I do feel like you're going to get that information. You're definitely going to seek it out, and I do have the feeling that you'll find what you need and be able to turn the situation around to something new and wonderful. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the Ten of Swords, the end of this situation, right? It's finality. So this moon is definitely bringing that decrease of end for you, that end of decrease, rather. All right, so finality is the positive and regeneration is the opposite. So for me, tens are that anyway. It's the end of a cycle while simultaneously beginning something new, and I see that here perfectly. Let's see, what does it say? Survival, inevitable, rise above, and a painful end. Like I said here, this is kind of like moving along somewhere else to kind of, it's hard to say lick my wounds, but in a way that's kind of how I feel. But it is coming to like bringing things back into equilibrium. And so there had to have been that instability, there had to be that fire, there had to be that cut to have to bring things back to equilibrium here. And what's done is done, and we're starting something new. And what is new that is being started with the Ten of Swords depends on your perspective, but your perspective looks wonderful. Other than, you're going to have some choices here, you're going to have to make some more decisions, but you have the knowledge and the wisdom to do that. And you have that action that you're going to take and this new passion that you're going to embark on, which I think is good. In the normal deck, there's a man laid out, and there's a dusk or a dawn behind him. And that's what I mean by perspective. Are you looking at this as it's the finality, it's never going to be good again? No, actually you're not. You're looking at it like this is a new beginning. And what happened was inevitable. And now it's time to pick up that passion, right? Pick up that new passion. Okay, Taurus, I hope this has been helpful. I will return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. I do dailies. I'm very grateful for your attention and listening, but more than that, I hope that it's been helpful. Take good care. Talk to you soon. Bye.